amateur mode. But instead of having to go through the amateur mode to do them, we just do them in the track menu, which makes a very fast and cool category to race. It looks like the player are starting, so yeah, obviously gonna be going in order from down to the main to Future Funland. And so far, two very similar first lap, but seems like Joe is just flying through the second lap. Nah, he's gonna have a nice 37. That's pretty good. Meanwhile, BlueSox already having some trouble with the AI. With a 47, that's already pretty big lead for Joe. But you know, Joe is very good at this game. He's been running for almost as long as me since 2013, and he's been on and off with it. But he's a really strong player. As you can see, he's just kind of flying through the laps here. But BlueSox keeping it pretty clean so far in Fossil Canyon.
Lap 2.
And Joe showing off what Canyonless is. But oof, missing the little ending here and hitting the spike ball. I have not seen that spike ball coming. A nice example of TT's head just blocking the view of a spike ball in front of him. He's gonna have 107, which not the greatest for Joe, but it's pretty understandable with what happened with the spike ball and stuff. Yeah, players often choose to not use music because it lags the game, and less lag equals faster times. Because of faster boost, like boost. Whether you use a zipper or like blue balloon, it's heavily impacted by the amount of lag of like when you use it, and so pretty much everybody runs without music for this category at least.
Lap 2.
You know, the trade-off Neo music, we get to see much faster DKR. So Joe is gonna go, oh, and he missed the balloon, so it's gonna be a little slow, but should be going out of bounds. So he's gonna do another strat of going over here and using the balloon, so he gets a little more, a few more bananas than if he would go out of bounds with the first balloon. And it makes the first lap slightly slower, but the two other laps after that are actually quite a bit faster because of the amount of speed that you gain from having more bananas. It's like a little more advanced to do. And a good job from BlueSox also going out of bounds.
Lap 2.
And Joe with a, what I think was 54, so pretty good. So now we're gonna see Joe opting not to go to the right here for the first zipper. Makes sense because sometimes the AI is just in the way and some mass trying to get to the zipper, and sometimes you just completely get denied and pushed away. But you know, I don't really see people not trying, but Joe not feeling it. And already, I would say, it was about a 39-second lead. Uh, Joe just flying through these tracks, and oof, couldn't really turn in to get the balloon there because there was just a big old spike ball in the way. Because normally you do try to turn in at the end after the last zipper to try to catch the blue balloon so you can chain the boost together. But yeah, I couldn't really do it this time. And he's gonna attempt a little jump at the end. Great. So you want to try to like get the balloon that's like right on that little rock thing, like that you jump over. But that little sand step right in front of it is actually quite tricky to do properly. It sometimes just sends you in random directions and then you miss the balloon because of it. There's like not much you can do about it. Oh, and Timber taking one to the team. And Joe with a nice 55. It's really good. And that Blue Sox going through Perth Lagoon so far. Looks good.
Lap 2. Power up.
And Joe taking the ending pretty safe, which is pretty smart. Just if you tap A once or twice, just to reduce your speed just a tiny bit, it makes it all that much easier to uh, go around that little shortcut and not hit anything. But turns in a little too early and bunks into the inside wall of the ship.
Finish. Treasure case.
Meanwhile, Blue Sox on his first lap. Take a look at getting more bananas. He actually missed a bunch of them. Not the easiest track to get bananas. They're not really in your way. You have to drive a little out there to get, and it can be actually quite tricky to do while trying not to lose a bunch of speed. Meanwhile, Joe is gonna try to chain all the boosts together here, or maybe not. Okay, he's keeping this one a little more. So there's two different approach to using the blue balloon on this track. There's what Joe just did, and then there's using it uh, in between the second and third zipper, which is a lot harder, but also a little bit faster. And yeah, Joe moves on to the next trophy. Oh, and Blue Sox turning in too late and just driving up the little pillar there. And Joe's gonna try and do Everfrost Peak without bunking. Not the easiest task.
Lap 2.
So far, it's doing pretty good. Decides to skip the ground zipper, probably just for more consistency.
Final lap.
Oh, and yeah. So if you miss the balloon and you don't normally go for the ground zipper. You're not really in a good position to get it after. But still finishes with a 110. A little bit rough, Joe. But you know, still pretty far ahead. Meanwhile, BlueSox is gonna start Everfrost Peak himself. I think this is a good pace for BlueSox. Should be right on PB pace.
Power up. Lap 2.
Yeah, Joe going through Warriors Cove. Like we saw earlier, pretty easy to just hit some highs and bounce around using all your speed. So hopefully it stays clear of the highs so that nothing happens. So far, so good. Oh, and oh, you saw the spike ball and tried to drift around, but didn't quite get it. Meanwhile, BlueSox was a lot of trouble at the beginning of the third lap of Everfrost Peak, just struggling to hit the zipper.
Power up. Finish.
And yeah, Joe with the 127, pretty decent. And the BlueSox finally done with Everfrost. It was a pretty rough one. You had trouble hitting the zippers, and once you start having trouble in Everfrost Peak, it just kind of snowballs. No pun intended. But yes, Joe on Snowball Valley now. Going pretty fast. Earlier, you saw BlueSox thing hit the snowball in every single lap. As you can see, sometimes they're in the way, and Joe somehow avoiding getting hit there. Just sneaking under it. And great pattern for the third lap. So, yeah, it was a pretty good... Oh, I was gonna say a pretty good Snowball Valley, but I kind of jinxed it. I lost at least 3-4 seconds going to the right there and driving up the little hill. Meanwhile, BlueSox coming up at the end of the second lap on Warriors Cove. Oof. Didn't hit any ice, but lost a bunch of speed to bumpy terrain. Not as bad as hitting highs, but still, you know, lost quite a bunch of speed. You gotta be careful. The left side is definitely faster at the end, but it's also all that much harder. And Joe didn't quite get the second zipper. The little hill that you have to go through in the middle of Frosty Village is very tricky. You have to drift in a certain way, and depending on the amount of speed you have, you'll go flying more or less. And Joe turning it a bit too early, bunking on the corner of the wall. And the BlueSox with a lot of speed in the middle section of Snowball Valley, but manages to not bunk too badly. And yeah, Joe already done with the Snowflake trophy. And BlueSox just avoiding the snowball by going over them. That's probably the best strat. Oh, and hitting the side of the hill there. Ooh, BlueSox is having a bunch of trouble. Seems like just going where he wants to go. But at least didn't hit any snowball. So there's that. Oh, and Joe with triple blue. So one thing you don't see often, you can actually stack the power up in this game. And on Boulder Canyon, it's pretty important to do that. You stack 2 balloon and then chain a single one after, which is what Joe's gonna do here, and you get like a bunch of speed. And by combining that with the walls, you can kind of like push yourself much further down the track.
Final lap.
And pretty rough second lap, first lap for Blue Sox here. Oh, Crunch directing the way. I actually tried to snipe Joe, but ended up sniping, I believe, Pipsy. Could have easily hit Joe there.
Green one.
Ooh, and Blue Sox hitting the water again. Alright, so Joe on Gridwood. Let's see if he goes for the shield on the second lap. Or if he's like me and just try to avoid the items. Does go for the shield, gonna be 100% safe. And as you saw, there was a spike ball and an ore slick. They were actually in a pretty good spot. They were very avoidable. Sometimes they're like in terrible spots, and it's really hard to avoid. Oh, but at the end of the lap.
Final lap.
But meanwhile, Blue Sox starting is Water Canyon. And he's going to be looking for not hitting any of the logs. Obviously, hitting logs is the worst thing you can do.
Power up. Windmill planes.
And Joe up to Windmill Plains. He's most likely going to try the out of bounds. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. We saw earlier Dr. Fish trying to go for the triple balloon strat. Didn't work out for him. But Joe's gonna try the single balloon strat, or the double balloon strat. Wow, okay. That's something you don't see often. But, you know, it worked for him, so great.
Hey.
I don't remember the last time I've seen that strat. But, you know, like I said, Joe has been playing for like a long time, so he has a lot of old strat or like electronic strats that some Europeans don't necessarily know, but that he does. And so now that he's out of bounds, you're just gonna see him go from checkpoint to checkpoint
Final lap.
to make sure that the lap is does count, and finish the lap pretty quickly. Yeah, he does have his sweet piece of strats to choose from for sure. And very solid women planes. I mean, every time you get the out of bounds and you successfully complete the lap, it's pretty much, you know, you're pretty much saving time, because the inbounds of windmill planes is not only not easy, but it's also pretty slow. So yeah, meanwhile, Blue Sox on Greenwood.
Two.
Seems like he's doing okay. Picking up the shield for safety. I feel like everybody uses the shield besides me, so I should stop. Oh, but still gets hit by the spike ball. But yeah, maybe I should myself start using the shield as well. Oh, and more bonks coming his way, and Joe hopefully won't get sniped. It seems like he's in the clear, and finishes the Dragon Forest trophy, while Blue Sox narrowly avoided another spike ball. We gotta defend Team Yellow. I agree, Nordic. Let's go.
Space Dust Alley.
But yeah, Joe's gonna start Space the Sally, first track of Future Fun and Trophy, deemed as the hardest track by many in the community. So far, pretty clean. And BlueSox is gonna do windmill planes on this side. Believe he's not going to do out of bounds as he did the last time. And yeah, just continues forward. Not something that is happens often. Pretty much only top runners go for the out of bounds because it's just that hard to get consistently. And yeah, Joe so far with not the greatest lap. I saw 33 second lap. Something must have happened when I didn't. I was looking at BlueSox. Yeah, this is looking like a 130, which I know for Joe could be a lot better for sure. Moving on to Dark Moon Cavern as BlueSox is trying to finish up his third lap, but unfortunately bunks into the windmill. No, windmills are scary. So far, pretty good first lap for Joe. Maybe around 33. Yeah, very decent first lap. So he's gonna be looking to keep that pace for the rest of the Dark Moon. Meanwhile, BlueSox moving on to Haunted Woods. Use the left zipper. I don't really see people use it unless they do a mistake. But I'm not sure if that's just how BlueSox does. Yeah, I think it just prefers that one. Interesting. The reason people would go for the right one over the left one is that you can kind of like shoot yourself into the next zipper with like the right angle. With losing minimal amount of speed. It's very hard, but like optimally that's better than using the left one and having to brake a bit. The racer, it depends if they have the stream or not up. I personally do not look at what the other racer does. Some big racers will be looking at what the other racer does. It just really depends on like who is playing. For ATR though, you don't really have that much time to look at. You have maybe a few seconds in between tracks, but I personally think it's more distracting than helpful. Because I feel like at the end of the day, the one thing that matters is how you play, and how the other person plays is out of your control. So there's not, at least for me, there isn't any reason to be monitoring what the other person is doing. But yeah, so far Joe on a killer Star City, and as I say that, bunks into the wall. I feel like I'm jinxing Joe quite a bit today. I'm gonna finish it with 117. Pretty decent. It's gonna move out to the last track while BlueSox is finishing up this last lap up. Space Dust Alley, which seemed to be a problematic track as it's going to be around the 140. But let's watch Joe if he can make the out of bounds. Oh, and ooh, you really do not want to bonk there. Oh, is he gonna get the balloon? Okay, he is pretty lucky that the AI was fast enough, and yeah, gets out of bounds. Says thank you for not stealing my balloon, because you can't actually go out of bounds without the blue balloon, but it is extremely annoying and difficult. And yeah, you really don't want to have to do that, especially in ATR where you have balloons. Joe, it's Obio's fault, pretty much. Sorry, Joe. And yeah. Did he miss a checkpoint? No, okay. I don't know what Joe's doing, but he's gonna finish up with the 25.55, looks like. So good job to Joe. We're gonna switch to BlueSox here. I don't like playing safer, so for me, knowing where the other person is doesn't really matter. You know, I always try to go fast. But yeah, BlueSox gonna be finishing up his race. So earlier he had the 30. It's gonna be maybe it should be capable of beating a 30. So I'm assuming he's gonna get like an I-29 if everything goes well. If not, then it's gonna be a 30 again. But he should be capable of getting a 29, which would be an improvement over the race that we saw an hour ago. Alright, oh, and bonking on these corner. Star City is pretty much the only track where it has like full-on 90 degrees corners, and it can be pretty awkward to navigate when you're not used to it. And it's like super easy to just hit the little corner and bonk. You gotta know your timing for turning.
What Star City?
Yeah, yo, Joe.
Yo, what's up, Ubaya? Yeah, that track is really tough. Like, especially when you're doing all the turns, like, in the middle of the track. All those sharp turns and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably one of the tracks, like, when you starting, it's just, like, super hard to get down.
Yeah,
after a while,
sure.
it's fine, but...
And, of course, the bridge, too. Everyone falls off that.
So far, oh, I was gonna say... oh, no. I was gonna say I haven't seen anyone fall down, but guess I jinxed something else.
Shoutouts to Patty. The Patty Bridge.
Man, yeah, I hate to see that.
I just call it the Patty Bridge because I saw him fall off it in his hover percent PB, and he's like, "Oh no! Oh God!"
Shoutouts to Patty.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I've just been jinxing everyone today. It's like, oh, Joe is doing really well, and then 1 second later, a bonk. Okay.
Bonking everywhere. Yeah, I think I had a lot of trouble somewhere. Was it Sherbet or the Snow World? There was just at some point I just started bonking everywhere, and I was just like, all right.
I think it was a Snow World.
Yeah.
Get a very strong start, and then, yeah, just a bunch of bonking.
Yeah, at least this run was much better than my last one, so I'll take it.
Oh no, oh, BlueSox almost went back in bounds. He didn't have the map, so I think he was just struggling to know where to go and try to like finding the button to put the map on.
Yeah, the map is really crucial when you're out of bounds because you need to hit the checkpoints in the track, even if you're still out of bounds. So, and the map, like we pretty much draw out where the triggers are, so you can just follow the cursor on the map to hit them.
Yeah, that's why I don't ever want to forget to use the map, so I just never put the speedometer on in ATR.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, I know Giz does that too. I don't think he has a speedometer on. I don't know how you guys like are able to keep track of your speed. I guess you just have the feel of it.
Yeah, you just have the feeling like you can tell visually, but I guess that's experience more than anything.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Blue Sox coming in with the 30-20, so we're gonna see if he's gonna join us for a few interviews.
Yeah. Nice job, Blue Sox.
I'm here.
Rolling in.
So I guess to start off, we're gonna start off with Joe. On a scale from 1 to rolling deep, how was the race?
How was my run? It's like when you get into a pool and you like go down the steps in the shallow end, but then like the water is nice and warm, so you start swimming towards the deep end. So you're not in the deep end yet, but like you're like in the middle and like the water's starting to like reach to your chin. So it was like it was a good run, but you're not like fully in the deep end. You didn't have like the god run, but
Interesting take. So yeah, we discussed it a little bit while Blue Sox was finishing. So strong start, and yeah, after Snowflake, it kind of started to look like a bonk fest a little bit, but
yeah,
still pulled ahead.
it's hard to be consistent in this game, man. It's really hard,
Yeah, for sure.
especially at
And,
your guys' level. I don't know how you do it.
I mean, even myself, it's like I can maybe do 18 of the 20 tracks fine. There's always going to be like 1 or 2 tracks that just completely go wrong. It's just
Yeah, and like
so hard to be
when something goes wrong in this game, you lose like a million. It's very rare that you lose like 2 or 3 seconds. It's always like 5, 6, 7 seconds.
Yeah, because keeping momentum is like the most important thing in the whole game.
Yeah.
You want to keep your momentum going, and as soon as you like stop dead because you bonked, then it's like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So Blue Sox, how did you feel about your run?
Yeah, I actually didn't feel great about it for most of the run, and then of course, I did about 8 seconds better because I had the free massive time save from getting the clip first try on Spaceport instead of second lap. But I mean, the fact that I was double digits seconds behind after Dyno and still picked up a 30-20. I can definitely get back into the 29s and maybe start pushing towards 28 soon.
Yeah, for sure. It was a rough start, and just well, playing against Joe was pretty hard in general, for sure. But
oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting to win any of my races, but I was just trying to get back into it and start getting back towards what I had going on a year ago. Getting into the sub 30s again.
yeah, I mean, you're pretty close. I mean, I actually thought you might have been able this round to do it, but ended up being 20 seconds over. But you'll do it soon. All right, so I think if we want to talk about the group,
Wow.
I think there's only 1 match left, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I gotta play Trident.
So yeah, I guess it's the 2 that are gonna go on to the bracket is gonna be Joe and Trident Tail, because I think there's only match left, and so your match is gonna be the one who's gonna determine. We're gonna see which one of you gets the first or second seed of the group. So, are you confident in beating Trident?
Well, for people looking forward to the race, I'll just put it this way: I'm pretty much coming over to Trident's house and bringing my broom with me and, you know, just sweeping his floor for him. So just
so good.
just gonna go over to his place and, you know, sweep his floor, clean up the house real quick.
I mean, maybe he's gonna slow down if you do that, you know.
Yeah, man, maybe he'll stop and, you know, offer me, you know, some drinks and snacks. We'll see.
But you never know what happens, you know. Like if you miss the out of bounds and you get it, then you know just that alone can swing the race for sure.
Yeah, he's played really well so far, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big race because I think Trident is currently in a position to grab one of the 4 buys in the bracket stage.
Wow.
You know, if he manages to pull the 1 seed.
Yeah, he's only a few seconds behind me and I'm 4th, so.
Oh,
He
so
might
he's
be able to
dropped
beat
to
me.
5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be a big match for him. But you know, if Joe pulls through and wins, that's also pretty. So I think it's gonna be pretty fun to watch.
Exactly, Nordic. I go to his place, I sweep up the floor, and then I mop it, but then I sit to let it dry and run out and let him slip everywhere.
Great stretch from Joe here. I approve of this.
That's about all I got.
Alright then, anything you two want to say?
I think that's it. Thank you, Blue Sox, for the race.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Obio, for sticking around for commentary.
No problem. And the next match that's on the schedule right now is on Tuesday at 1 p.m. between Atomic Otaku and Nordic Boss. So until then, yeah, whoa. Until then, have fun watching all the other content on SpeedGaming, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, thank you guys for everything. We'll see y'all later.
Later.
Rolling out.
See ya.
Rolling deep.